The first time I met Tan Sri, I really shocked because he's so friendly, and I really adore how he really good in terms of the thinking and creative about the ideas and innovation in terms of education and technologies.
All right. Okay, I think Tan Sri Limkokwing is a man that doesn't believe in mediocrity. He wants the best in everything, and his leadership quality drives us to be the best in whatever we do, whether in teaching, whether in our career. He wants everyone who is working with him to be the best.
How he had inspired us as a staff, as a student. So he always come with the motivation. He always motivate us to always be excel in whatever we are doing. So that's the most important thing.
Thing which ran into my mind is one of his tagline, make impossible possible. Till now, till to date, I actually, sometimes I would tell my friends or tell anyone about this tagline, like make impossible possible. Nothing is impossible in our life without hard work. So that's what I learned about him. That's what popped into my mind the first time I met him.
I would say astounding when I hear about Tan Sri Limkokwing's works and achievements that he had contributed to the community, which he did as the first person, which was never done by anyone else, and it is now known by almost everyone in the world because of his campuses across the world. Yeah.
You don't know how high you can fly until you've tried. That is one of the most memorable quotes that I have, remembered when I had meetings with the late Tan Sri before this. So to understand that quotes, it does help us as the academicians a lot to try new things, to try deliver the best to our students, to give them a different output in terms of deliverables of our job, having classes due to the pandemic. Even though everything is just online and virtual right now, we still have to make it a lot more creative and a lot more interesting for the students to be on board with us at the class.
Our dear Tan Sri has contributed a lot to the nation by connecting with huge companies from industry, which became the bridge for the students to have the link through competitions, talk, and also event.
Tan Sri Limkokwing has transformed hundreds of thousands of people's lives, including the people who work together with him, that young people like us, we have learned a lot from him.
Meeting Tan Sri personally has showed me that he is such a wonderful person. He is someone who is very concerned about your growth, about your career, about what you can actually push yourself to be better. He's the type of person who wants to listen. And what I miss the most is being the tip of my toes, to be better every day and to produce better. And I miss him persuading us and encouraging us to go above and beyond of whatever that we can in daily life and also as a yearly achievement too.
What I miss the most of Tan Sri are his signs of encouragement. Just 2 words that he said sometimes on screen, on the phone. When he said, go ahead, go ahead. Sounds like nothing to you maybe, but for us, when we read, go ahead, we had the green light. It gave us wings. We know that we were on the right way.
I will definitely miss Tan Sri's visit here in Cambodia, because whenever he comes here, he would always challenge us. He would always reward us.
Our founder, Tan Sri Limkokwing, actually, he contributed a lot into the educational system, since he actually bring in, which is a very up-to-date curriculum for the educational here, which is the curriculum that is building industrial ready to build our human resource capacity here. Plus, he also bring in some international environment into the educational system here as well, because we offer an exchange program where students have the opportunity to travel and learn and actually experience the international experience plus culture and other things in different countries.
My best memory about Tan Sri Limkokwing is about during my graduation, and I am proud to receive my honorary degree from Tan Sri. And what I miss most about him is how he is a true inspiration to be very best every time.
Tan Sri Limkokwing is my second father and is my mentor to be the best. Tan Sri Limkokwing always gave me new opportunity to challenge myself to be better. The precious word from Tan Sri Limkokwing that I always remember is, "Senior, you are well trained. I trust you fully."
As the country developed, there became a need for a more sophisticated creative industry. Our esteemed founder, Tan Sri, recognized this and through his great vision, brought his ideas to fruition by establishing his university here. Tan Sri's foresight has seen the creative industries of Cambodia develop beyond what any of us could have expected. This has led to a thriving, sophisticated creative industry here, which can proudly compete in the international arena. We will strive to continue our great founder's mission and reach even greater heights.
Tan Sri has put himself in our hearts. He has made a mark to everyone that has interacted with him. There is no way you can forget Tan Sri. If you know him and if you've ever come close to him, there's no way you can forget him. And we will never forget him. And I will never forget him. And I'm very glad that I know him personally. And that is something that I'm going to be telling to my generations, that I have interacted with the founder of the great university, Limkokwing University. A great thinker. He is. He will remain is. We will continue to see him through us and his students. He has made Swaziland education landscape to change, and he has touched me. He is a designer, but in the making, he had a great heart for education, and he wanted to better Africa. And Swaziland became one of those that have benefited from them. But to me, he remains a great leader, and I will walk understanding that he created a giant in me, and he wanted to give back to what he is. And to many of our staff and myself, we will remain great leaders because of him.
I would like to thank the founder and president, Tan Sri, for opening doors towards my success and giving me opportunities to achieve greatness. I appreciate him for establishing the campus in the Kingdom of Eswatini, for it has changed people's lives and it has impacted the country's economy positively. Tan Sri, you have been a great leader. You have touched so many lives, not only in the Kingdom of Eswatini, but in the global space at large. A lot of people are still benefiting from your legacy. And for this, you will never be forgotten. You will always be in our hearts.
One thing I loved about the president is that he really cared about students. Students had a soft spot in his heart, and I remember very well he would greet students when he was going around the plaza. And as a student ambassador, I got to interact with the president, and you could tell that he really loves students and he wants to see them succeed.
I had the privilege and honor of meeting Tan Sri in one of the meetings when he was here in Eswatini. And the thing that struck me most about him was his care and his dedication to the development and to the growth of young people. And from that time onwards, I endeavored that all my assessments that I gave my students, particularly campaign plans, they were centered around issues that affect them in their community. And one of the things that Tan Sri said that I've never forgotten and that I've used to motivate me in doing my work is he said, every day, go an extra mile 10 times. And that has never left me. So on this day, as we honor and celebrate his life, I want to be one of those people who are going to carry his legacy, who are going to continue making a difference in young people's lives, and who are going to carry the young people and make them believe that they can be anything, that they can do anything, and that they have wings to fly.
Without shadow of a doubt, Tansiri played a very vital role in education, especially in Africa. We were used to our traditional education where we are more theoretical and we forget about the practicality of doing things. But Tansiri, since Tansiri pitched Limkokwing in Africa, we have seen changes. He have brought new ideas to education. You know, the equipments that students are using, the projects that students are using, the interaction of lecturer students is so amazing. And now in Africa we see upcoming universities copying the Limkokwing style, because if it wasn't working, they won't even bother to copy it. But the fact that they are copying and benchmarking from Limkokwing, it means they are seeing something that it's worth writing home about.
I am now a published author and a speaker because of one man who gave me the opportunity to be part of his vision. Tansiri, you haven't left but multiplied yourself through us. We'll keep your wise teachings in heart every day.
When I joined Limkokwing in 2015, I was a young, shy lady. But because of Tansiri's vision for the young generation, I was given an opportunity to spread my wings. Today, I am able to stand in front of masses of people and students and impart knowledge. I will forever be grateful for the opportunity that was afforded to me. Thank you, Tansiri.
Words of encouragement, wisdom, and his compassion towards humanity is what I miss the most. I remember how he loved and cared about the youth, always giving them a chance to be better and ready to motivate them at any given time.
The love that he commands. When you have love from people who've never seen your face or who've seen your face on a banner, but when they meet you personally, it's all love. It has always been all love from him, and appreciation and gratitude and joy that actually brings people to tears, just meeting him, just being in his presence and sharing his energy and his aura and his conduct, and just also maybe the love that he has inside. So just seeing students and staff members just celebrating and cheering him, it's always a good feeling in the heart. It's appreciated. It makes the heart feel warm and grow fonder of the man and what he stands for and what he represents and who he is and what he has been till his time.
I remember I've only had the luck of experiencing his presence in the 2019 graduation. And my understanding of him is that his presence is felt, because from the day a message comes through that Tansiri will be in the country, people start to shake. People start to remember that his presence is a strong presence, a presence of a leader, a presence of someone that drives an entire university that's in separate countries, just alone. And the fact that I aspire or I get inspired by someone who actually gets to be felt when he's present, gets to be understood, gets to drive a group of people to work. That's what I miss most about Tansiri.
In your opinion,
personally, my best memories about Dato is when I graduated at the university in 2012. And I still remember when he shook my hand and I was offered 2 awards from the university and a full 100% full paid scholarship to go and study my master's. That was one of the biggest memories ever. And having said by Tansiri, then for me it was a big honor, and I'm looking forward really to pursue that master's.
One of the best moments one could
remember is the visitation of Tan Sri to Lesotho. Since he is not from the country, he always every year would visit to come and check if his vision is being achieved. So those are one of the moments that one would really miss, and one would, well, want to see but would never see such memories.
I think people like Tan Sri is people that we need to look up to in terms of viewing the possibilities of what might seem impossible. He is such an inspiration with his humble self. So I'm glad to have met a man of great vision. Thanks.
He has spread out the light that for me will not die and will continue to last. We always say, we have always had that education is the key, and education is the key to breaking the vicious poverty cycle. And I think he has done that. We are a nation that still relies so much on our education. And the fact that he made that possible for us in ways that we wouldn't have thought of, by bringing in resources and bringing in knowledge that was never heard of, and allowing our people, the likes of me, to even continue in the directions that, or in the vision that he had initiated, goes a long way.
Tan Sri Dato Sri Paduka Limkokwing will surely be missed for his courageous, bold, and innovative spirit. His leadership was very rare, and he will always be missed for that.
I shared the notion with the world, and particularly with Basotho, that indeed that Tan Sri was a true leader, judging by his great influence onto the people. I shall always remember the spark of excitement that his presence would bring when he enters either a hall or a campus among students and staff members. So I think he had a greater influence, and I think he's been a legend.
One thing Limkokwing has been outstanding for, that makes us proud and made me personally proud, is the way the students exhibit the TVET model in the industries. With a focus on outcome-based learning, we see our students exhibiting the modern dispensation, the modern theory in the industries, which is very unique in this part of the world. I can say we are a prototype when it comes to the TVET model of learning, which other institutions are now incorporating gradually.
I would also want to appreciate Tan Sri for he has contributed in developing the middle manpower of Sierra Leoneans. And I must say, Sierra Leoneans, we are proud to have such an icon, such a man of the universe. And Sierra Leone will always remember him in that light.
When our leader, Tan Sri, visited Sierra Leone, it was so wonderful to see students and staff around Tan Sri, singing and dancing, rejoicing with him for making them a success.
Impossible. I think one thing that I'm proud of this university is making the impossibility possible, and that's what we are good for. I'm just hoping that those left behind with the innovative skill of our founding president will work towards that in preparing students for the future.
The man was a visionary. He was an entrepreneur at heart. You know, when I try and remember him, I'm thinking of an icon a man that had a vision in terms of educating our young leaders of tomorrow.
He had this sense of humor that, he would, there was one specific time I remember he'd just spoken in the hall during the graduation ceremony, and when he came out, he found me busy developing the guests, and he kind of tapped me and said, "How was the speech?" And I said, "It was very lovely," and he kind of chuckled. That was such a lovely moment to just have that moment, to have a moment of joy and peace and just interaction with the president of the university. His sense of humor, I definitely am going to miss that, and of course his smile.
I still cannot believe that I'm speaking about Tansri in past tense. He has touched so many lives, including mine. He has transformed so many lives and nations, and I miss everything about him. I miss the motivational text that he would send us every morning. I miss consulting with him on different projects that we are working on in regards to nation building, in regards to student welfare. So I miss so much about Tansri, and one of my fondest moments will always remain his visits to African countries. Africa really loved Tansri, and we as the alumni of Limkokwing will do everything in our power to ensure that his legacy lives on. So my fondest moments would be the visits that he would take to his African campuses, and the knowledge that he will bring to staff, to students, the inspiration and so forth. And I really miss you, Tansri, so much.